Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. I just wanted to show you today 6 easy ways that you can reduce your food waste. Now, food waste is over 50% of the household waste that we produce each year, and I feel like in these sort of small steps you really can aim to reduce that food waste quite dramatically. It is such a shame, especially when there are millions of people all over the world who are literally starving and they do not have enough food, and I feel like we do not appreciate the food that we do actually have. So I really want us to think about the kind of ways that we can reduce our food waste and really feel the gratitude that we should have for the food that we have available to us. So let's get started. The first one is a really simple one. It's eat the whole food. Lots of people do not eat the whole food, and I find it baffling. So here we've got broccoli. You can see these stems. I don't understand why people don't use them, because they are just as nutritious and they add a really wonderful crunchy texture. We've also got spring onions. I don't understand why we don't use the whole food. These green parts are just as flavoursome as the white parts. They have a different texture, not as crunchy, but it is just delicious, and I always use them whenever I am making anything with spring onions. The second tip is please do not peel your vegetables. Just underneath the skin of your vegetables is actually where the most nutritious part of the vegetable actually is. So please don't peel your vegetables. Instead of peeling them, simply give them a wash. When you wash, you remove any dirt that you don't want in your food, and it ensures that you're not wasting a really nutritious part of the vegetable. Obviously, with some foods you have to peel them, with things like fruit, like bananas and stuff like that. But if you're going to peel some foods, there are some where you can have a very easy hack to try and just reduce the amount you're actually peeling. Because a lot of times when we're peeling things, especially like ginger for example, you peel far too much. So if you look here, it's so much easier if you actually peel with a spoon, because then you're only literally scraping off the excess skin that you don't need and you don't want, and it means that you're not wasting any of that wonderful ginger, so you're really reducing the amount that you're taking off the vegetable. Okay, tip number 4 is keep your scraps. If you are going to peel your vegetables, or you're chopping up parts that you can't really eat, like these ones here, you can see I've got a red bell pepper, I've got a top, and other stuff like that, you do not need to throw these away. As you can see, I've frozen them so that they are always going to be ready for me, so that they don't go off or anything like that. And instead of throwing them away, simply make a vegetable stock out of them. You can literally incorporate any kind of vegetable you want into this kind of stuff. You can even put in some orange peels, lemon peels if you want a kind of citrusy or fruity flavour. But yeah, this means that also you don't have to go out to the shop and buy a vegetable stock if you like using them. Always making your own is always going to be the better, and always going to help you reduce your overall home waste. So yeah, keep your scraps and make a lovely homemade vegetable broth instead. Okay, tip number 5. Often we don't like to use vegetables that are slightly going off or on the turn, or they look less aesthetically pleasing. And if you're one of those people who is slightly put off by the kind of look of these vegetables, instead of throwing them away or composting, simply put them in something where it won't necessarily matter. So as you can see here, I've got lots of greens, and they have slightly turned different colour or got off, and they aren't as delicious as they would be if I was eating them raw. So what I like to do with these is just put them straight into a smoothie. Or, with vegetables, I can just put those straight into a soup and just blend it all up so that you can't tell where the vegetable has come from or anything like that. So you can just make something delicious out of it, and you're going to be reducing your waste again instead of throwing it away. And number 6, which is my 6th and final tip, is grow your own food. I know if you live like I do and you live in a city, it is quite difficult because you've got limited amount of space, but I do the best I can, and I want you to try and do the best you can as well. So for example, one of the easiest things to grow yourself is herbs. You can create yourself a little herb garden and put it on your windowsill so it gets lots of light. And the best thing about growing your own food, and especially herbs for example, is you take what you need and you don't have to waste any if you take too much, kind of thing. And also, when you do tend to buy herbs from shops, they tend to come in plastic, or if you can buy them free without plastic, they tend to be in quite a big bunch and you might not have time to actually eat all of the herbs by the time that they go off. So one of the most wonderful things about growing them is that you have a living plant. So as long as you take care of it, so you're always going to have an unlimited supply of that herb or of all your different herbs, as long as you take care of it. Yeah, so those are just my quick 6 tips to try and reduce your food waste. Let me know if you actually have come up with any other ones and put them down below. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate this support because it's so wonderful to know that other people around the world are also trying to reduce their waste in small steps or big steps. And it's nice to know that I'm not alone. So thank you for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next video. I will see you then. Bye.